Hi there, it's Kevin with the Rogue Market here with today's episode of the Daily Delve, where we delve into the MTG market to look for a card that's potential of going up in value. Today, we are going to continue our commanders from Foundations, and we're on our number 3 most played commander according to EDHREC, and this is Loot Exuberant Explorer. So the card that I think has the most potential of going up because of Loot is the Springheart Nantuko. Now, this was actually a difficult list to make because most of the cards that go in Loot are printed over and over and over again because it seems like Wizards of the Coast prints Landfall as a commander in their box sets almost every set. So we saw it in the Commander Masters, I believe, had a Landfall. We had Duskmourn that just reprinted a bunch of the Landfall creatures. But this is one of the few ones that is old enough. I mean, Modern Horizons 3 is still very new, but it's starting to get to the point where there's not a lot of product being open for Modern Horizons 3, and this is basically the only card in Landfall that hasn't had a gazillion printings. So Loot wants to work around cards that have Landfall because it allows you to play additional lands per turn. And this one's a neat one because you can hook it up as a bestowed enchantment or an R on a creature, and then you can start duplicating a creature. But if not, you still get 1/1 green insect tokens. What impresses me most about this card is the sales data, of course. It sells on average 20 per day, and this has started to increase with the dropping of Loot being a very, very popular commander. And the sales are pretty good. These have sold all the way up to $6 for a copy of this card. If we go over to Card Kingdom, they're also very aggressive on buying the Springheart Nantuko. So this card does need to dodge a few factors. It needs to dodge Modern Horizons 3 not having a lot of value and a lot of printing where people start opening it for, say, fetch lands and other cards like Modern takes off, and so the expected value of the cards go up in Modern Horizons 3, and therefore people start cracking boxes again and a ton of supply comes back in. So we underestimated the supply of Modern Horizons 2, and I think a lot of people got burned just how much in existence of that set. I'm not even sure if that's like the most printed set of all time, of just how much Wizards of the Coast just printed and printed and printed it. And so of course that's always going to affect a card's ability to grow long term, is just how much supply there was originally for this card. And it also needs to dodge Wizards of the Coast being very lazy with commanders. I've noticed this as a pattern with how they design commander decks, is they get really stuck on pet themes and pet cards, and Landfall seems to be one of those themes that they keep going back to. And if you actually look at a lot of the cards in Landfall, those cards have been, I mean, look at the Baloth, the Rampaging Baloth. It has been printed a billion times. So even though it's a very popular theme for commander players to build, if it gets printed every few sets in a commander box set, that's going to cause a card to stagnate forever, basically. And then it will finally get to the point where there's just too many printings of it, and it can never have a chance of ever accruing any sort of value. However, this one does have some neat little mechanics with it. Being a bestow card is very hard to just chuck in any deck. Typically, they like to have a few cards from that mechanic when they represent it in a full reprint of a set, and same thing with Commander. Sometimes these are harder just to slot in anywhere. So anyway, that's my reasoning for the Nantuko, the Springheart Nantuko. One of the last ones is also does see a lot of play in a lot of the top tier Commander decks. Balin's another one that people play a lot, and same thing like Omnath. These are very, very popular commanders. This would probably be something like Gitrog Monster. I'm assuming it goes in high quantities in that deck too. And yeah, it's just another typical Landfall card, but sometimes you stick with the try, tested, and true. And if it dodges all the specifications that I said, I think this is a very, very good spec for the time being. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be back with our number 4 tomorrow from Foundations. And once we're done with our 5 or 6, I can't remember how deep I'm going to go with this, and we'll head over to the Jumpstart and see if there's any good specs from the Jumpstart set that was just released. And after that, I think we'll move on to Innistrad. So I'm going to continue to do this video series as long as people are engaged, and we'll be back to looking at other ways that we can revive this channel. So everyone that stuck around, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.